It is our last major news bulletin for the day, right here on Flow 94.9 FM, the flow of God's own state. It is Flow News at 6 p.m. My name is Michael. Only the headlines. 75 political parties passed vote of confidence on INEC chairman. JAMB begins biometric verification of 1.8 million candidates in 36 states. Federal Road Safety Commission set to commence recertification inspection of driving schools in Abia State. And on the foreign scene, Beijing slams U.S. warship sail by in South China Sea. The details shortly. And now the news in detail. As Muslims began their 30 days fast to mark the Ramadan, the Sultan of Sokoto and President General, Nigeria Supreme Council for Islamic Affairs, Mohammed Abubakar, is enjoining Muslims to devote themselves fully to the worship of Allah throughout the holy month and use the period to pray for peace, stability and prosperity of the nation. The Sultan, who made this appeal in Sokoto while declaring the commencement of the fast, further called on Nigerians to continue to live peacefully with one another, irrespective of religious and tribal differences. He urged Nigerians to resist crime and accept unity of the country. About 75 political parties on the platform of the Inter-Party Advisory Council has passed a vote of confidence on the chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, Professor Mahmood Yakubu, for the satisfactory conduct of the 2019 general elections. A communique read by the council's deputy national chairman, Jeff Ojerika, at the National Roundtable in Abuja, indicted the nation's security agencies for allegedly colluding with some unscrupulous politicians during the elections. They also commended the National Assembly for responding to the challenging needs for a responsive legal framework for the conduct of the elections, but regretted that non-signing of the Electoral Act Amendment Bill was a major setback on the quality of the electoral process. The presidency is insisting that the APC-led federal government has the capacity to resolve security challenges in the country. Speaking in an interview, the special advisor to the president on media and publicity, Femi Adesina, revealed that the federal government has inaugurated joint forces to tackle the rising waves of banditry and kidnapping.
This government has capacity to resolve issues. The issues are multifarious, the issues are complex, the issues are multi-pronged. And as you solve one, another one rears its head and all that. So there are challenges, no doubt about that. There are diverse security challenges: terrorism, insurgency, banditry, farmers' herdsmen clashes, kidnapping, armed robbery. There are multifarious security challenges. But then the question is, does the government have capacity to solve this? I'll say yes.
However, PDP Presidential Campaign Council spokesperson Kazim Afebua disagreed with the presidency and insisted that the federal government has not shown political will to handle the situation.
While the country was burning, when souls were being lost, persons were being killed in Zamfara, in Katsina, the home state of the president, in Daura, kidnappings were being carried out, the president went on a private visit. So the president has no capacity to manage us because he's busy managing himself.
Meanwhile, a security expert, retired Major General Obi Umahi, is blaming rising insecurity in Nigeria on the misconception of mixing political issues with security matters. Obi, during an interview, highlighted that partisan security officers escalate the problem on ground and advised that security be separated from politics to enhance chances of tackling insecurity headlong.
In Nigeria, we mix security with politics. And anywhere in the world you mix security with politics, it creates insecurity in itself, principally because the security agencies that are supposed to be friends to all will acquire enemies to themselves if they are involved one way or the other in taking sides politically
And still on security, the Nigerian Army has banned the use of motorcycles within hinterland and forest of Kano, Katsina, Zamfara, Sokoto, Kaduna, Kebbi, and Niger State. The Army said the ban was needful to tackle banditry and killings in the northwest region, adding that anyone caught using motorcycles within the named areas will be taken for a bandit. The acting director, Army Public Relations, Colonel Sager Musa, appealed with the general public, particularly in the northwest and some part of the north-central in Nigeria, where exercise Habin Kunama is ongoing, to bear with the Army as concerted efforts were being made to combat the insecurity menace ongoing within the area. The National Agency for Prohibition of Trafficking in Persons, NAPTIP, wants Nigerians to be cautious of the new tricks deployed by human traffickers on unsuspecting victims. The agency, through the Director General Julie Oka-Donley, said that the traffickers use religion and juicy job offers to lure people in rural areas and pleaded for interagency collaboration to stem the tide.
It's extremely important, for NAPTIP to have a very good relationship with all the law enforcement agencies and relevant stakeholders, because there must be synergy, there must be cooperation, and there must be coordination. Because the problem is some uniformed services think they are superior.
Oka-Donley also revealed that, based on statistics released by the foreign governments, the figure of human trafficking has reduced drastically. The Katsina State Police Command has rescued 26 people from being burnt alive in Dandume local government area. Addressing journalists in the state capital, spokesperson for the police command, Gambo Isa, said that would-be victims were saved from outlawed vigilantes known as Yansakai in Ruga Dikindi village. The police spokesperson described those targeted by the group as young male aged between 14 and 18 years, whom the Yankasai has claimed were bandits and had intended to burn alive. And in the education sector, the Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board, JAMB, says it has begun the biometric verification of 1.8 candidates who sat for this year's Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination. JAMB Registrar Professor Ishaq Oloyede disclosed that the board was cross-checking everything pertaining to the conduct of the examination, including fingerprints and candidates. Oloyede said the exercise was responsible for the delay in releasing the UTME results conducted from the 11th of April to the 18th of April, adding that the board has already carried out biometric verification of candidates in 31 states. And back home in Abia State, the state government is insisting that workers' welfare remained a priority to Governor Okezie Ikpeazu-led administration. Commissioner for Finance, Obinna Oriakụ, gave this assurance while speaking on Flow FM's interactive program, Abia Today. He blamed the delay in salary payment on shortfall in revenue from statutory allocations.
We still prioritize workers' welfare and payment. That is why consistently for the past 47 months, there is no month we come back we didn't pay. You can only accuse us that it didn't go around. And the reasons are obvious. You come back with 3.4 billion as the case may be, and your total wage bill is about 2.8 billion. You are left with partly 700 million to run government and to run overhead. It's not possible.
The commissioner also disclosed measures taken to overcome challenges with pension payment.
We centralize the 19 sub-treasuries into one basket so that at the touch of a button everybody gets paid. Now, what is the disadvantage of this process, which has brought us to where we are, is that when somebody drops dead, you won't know. So that is why people and states that run this kind of automated payment of pension, periodically they engage in verification. But of course, when we wanted to do it the last time, it was a bit resisted because we have our standards with the pensioners. No problem. We are going to work very hard and pay them 2 months, at least to enable them see money to come out and then for the verification.
And still in Abia State, Federal Road Safety Commission, Abia State Command, is set to commence a recertification inspection of all driving schools across the state. The sector commander, Meshach Jato, who dropped the hint in an interview with Flow FM News, said driving schools without the minimum requirement will be delisted and decertified.
We have a website where all certified driving schools are listed. Now, before you can get a driver's license, the certificate you're bringing from must be from one of those driving schools that is listed in our website. Before a driving school is certified by FRSC, there are criteria. One of it is the electronic simulator for practical driving. You need trained instructors. You need a library. You need a driving range.
The Federal Commissioner, Public Complaint Commission, Abia State Command, Chukwuemeka Nwogo, believes the insecurity in the country was a result of unaddressed issues by past leaders in Nigeria. Speaking to Flow FM News after his office visited relics of war at Ojukwu Banka in Umuahia, Nwogo pointed out that people take to crime and violence when their grievances were not properly addressed. He therefore called on security agencies, political and religious leaders to come together to address the injustice done to Nigerians, as it was the better way to curb insecurity in the country. The Arochukwu Ohafia Diocese of the Church of Nigeria Anglican Communion in Abia State has dismissed 2 priests for indulging in homosexuality. A letter signed by Bishop of Diocese, Right Reverend Johnson Onoha, and circulated to all archbishops and bishops of the church, said that investigation into the allegation confirmed that 2 men were neck-deep in the act. The memorandum, which was also copied to the Metropolitan and Primate of the All Nigeria and Bishop of Abuja, the Most Reverend Nicholas Oko, warned any persons dealing with the expelled clerics to be mindful of such could dent the image of the church. The affected priests are Reverend Chukwuemeka Duru and Reverend Solomon Chukwuzubelo Okonko. Flow News at 6 p.m. continues shortly with business, foreign, and sports news. Do stay tuned.
From Abia, God's own state, this is Flow 94.9 FM.
Thank you for staying tuned. And now straight to business. About 16,536 private organizations have gotten the National Pension Commission's complaint certificate in the 2018 financial year. The Commission noted that in its update on compliance of the contributory pension scheme by the private sector employers, that declared firms had remitted the workers' pension deductions into the retirement savings account with their respective pension fund administrators. The Commission said it also issued a general notice to the public advising against the engagement of touts in the applications for a pension clearance certificate. And on the foreign scene, China says 2 United States warships sailed near disputed islands in the South China Sea without permission in the latest United States challenge to Beijing's territorial claims in the region. The move comes on top of trade tensions as President Donald Trump said yesterday he would raise tariffs on $200 billion in Chinese goods on Friday because talks were moving too slowly. Chinese Foreign Ministry said that the relevant actions of the U.S. warships violated China's sovereignty and undermined peace, security, and good order in the relevant sea areas. Our final stop this evening is on sports, and David Talks is standing by. Good evening to you, David.
Good evening, Michael. Thanks, listeners, for joining us. This is Sports News Update. We'll begin from the world of tennis as American Sloane Stephens recorded her 4th successive win over former world #1 Victoria Azarenka to advance to the round of 16 at the Madrid Open. The 26-year-old world #8 was broken twice as Azarenka, now ranked 52, took the match to a deciding set. Belarusian Azarenka spawned 2 break points at 1-1, and Stephens won 6-4, 2-6, 6-2 in 2 hours, 6 minutes. Stephens will face the winner of Tuesday's match between China's Zheng Saisai and Alice Cornet of France. 7th-seed Kiki Bertens and 12th-seed Anastasia Sevastova recorded straight-set victories over Yelena Ostapenko and Miela Buzanescu, respectively. And now to football. Liverpool forwards Mohamed Salah and Roberto Firmino will miss Tuesday's Champions League semi-final 2nd leg with Barcelona through injury. Salah left the pitch on a stretcher after an aerial collision with Newcastle keeper Martin Dubravka during Saturday's 3-2 win. Manager Jurgen Klopp says concussion will keep Salah out as Liverpool look to overhaul a 3-0 deficit at Anfield. Firmino missed the win over Newcastle with a muscle injury. Defender Virgil van Dijk and midfielder Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain also both missed training on Monday. To get more on sports, you can join us later this evening on Monday Night Football, the review show at 7 p.m. That's it on Sports News Update. My name is David Oku. I hand you back to Michael Oni.
Thank you very much, David, for the update on the sports. And thanks for being with us. Remember that security is everyone's business. Provides useful information to security agencies to ensure your security. Join us at 6:45 a.m., noon, and 6 p.m. every weekday for additional newscast. This is Flow 94.9 FM, the flow of God's own state. You can send your views or information to flowfmnews@gmail.com or visit www.flownews.com.ng for more stories. This bulletin was edited by Precious Chima, supervising editor Samson Eze. My name is Michael Oni. Do have a fantastic evening.